Well, I just can't figure something out. Just for the life of me, I can't figure something out.
Talk to me.
What's a good-looking guy like you doing in a place like this? Just with us scoundrels. Just
Unbelievable.
what's going on? How's life in Will's world?
It's actually pretty good. So Emily was nice enough to shower me with a gift. Shower me with a gift. So she got me this.
Ooh, I got one of those. Yeah, I got that up there
Yeah,
somewhere. Yeah.
Grit City. Yeah. So I haven't partake, but I figure what better time? Why not just kick the show? Kick the show off
I hope that's filled with water and you emptied
with
it
a little
out.
grit.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's got to be water. I'll tell you right now, folks. He's not even saying a word. I know that's water. There's absolutely no chance someone in our age bracket, is chugging vodka on a YouTube stream like that. Just stick around.
Yeah.
20 minutes from now, Will's going to be having to go to the bathrooms for some of his choices that he's made. But Will, it's game day. It's game day. This
Yeah,
is a
for sure.
big game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How are you feeling going into the game?
Well, before I say how I feel, uh, please don't tell Emily that I poured that into a different container because she finds out I opened it and just poured it into something. She's gonna kill me. So let's hopefully she doesn't watch this episode. But keeping it football related, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, slightly stressed, but in Dan and Jared Goff, I believe.
Yeah, and I think that this is probably why you're feeling stressed. We already hit on this pretty heavy yesterday. Uh, Basically, a brand new secondary than what we rolled out there in week
Yeah,
one. All the starters out, corners out, safeties out. Everyone's out today. It's gonna be rough, but we'll talk about some stuff, how we can contain this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. But injuries is gonna be the moral of the story. It's been the moral of the story for the past year now when it comes to game day. So next man up, we have to adapt, have to get this win. Going to the bye week, we're going to be a scary team in a couple weeks when everyone gets healthy and gets back. I'll just say that. And Brad Holmes is out hunting for some pass rush out. Lord help us! Don't let this team get healthy and get another defensive end to bolster up this pass rush and make it even more scary. But offensively, Will, what do we got to do? What do we got to do in this game against the Buccaneers?
throw the ball all over the field, Steve. I was looking at some stats today. Just got an opportunity to have a little free time at work. Don't tell the boss, but I had a little time on my hands at work. You know, OT position, just
Yeah,
kicking
ooh,
back a little bit.
say it must be
So
nice.
it must be, man. It's not. It's been rare lately. I was even at that one spot that's fit. That one. There's only two of them, and I got one of the two. You know what I'm talking about. So, but anyway, so the last couple of games, Mac Jones, Steve, Mac Jones, 27 to 49, 347 yards passing, right? 347 yards. Before that, Sam Darnold, 28 to 34, four touchdowns, 341 yards passing. Neither one of those quarterbacks are the caliber of Jared Goff. What do we need to do to be successful, especially with some guys beat up, as I'm sure we'll get into when we start talking about the defense? Jared Goff needs to carry this thing, put us on his back, and throw this ball all over the field. We need to see a lot of J-Mo, a lot of St. Brown, a lot of Laporta, a lot of Gibbs coming out of the backfield. They're susceptible to being passed on by lesser teams than the Detroit Lions. We need to show them why we're a great offense. No, no, no. Why we're their number one offense.
Leads me right into it. I like to pop this up. This is the stat rankings for each team. As you can see, we're the number two scoring offense. We'll round up, call it 32 points. Tampa Bay sitting at 27, almost 28 points. Defensively, points per game, they give up some points. They're one of the bottom third when it comes to giving up points. We're kind of hanging around there, right in the middle. Turnovers, takeaways. I love that stat for us that we're fifth in turnovers on defense. I think that is moral of the story. We're getting our offense the ball more, and giveaways on offense, we're tied for third. We've only given the ball up 3 times on offense. I think that is a phenomenal stat. I like to keep that trend going. I'm with you, Will. Until I see this run game absolutely explode, I think that the pressure has to be on Jared Goff, St. Brown, J-Mo, Gibbs a little bit, Laporta, Tom Kennedy if we need him, Ronnie Bell if we bring him back from the practice squad. Anyone who can catch a football, I think, is going to be due for a big day. I love our offense. I love our offensive line. I love our run game. I just said the other day, I don't feel like it's been as explosive as it has. We're kind of getting to that 100 yards, but it's an ugly, muddy 100 yards. Like we're getting there just barely, kind of just grinding some stuff out. Haven't really hit a lot of home runs in the running game. So I think I'm with you. Jared Goff carry this thing. But we talked about it last year when we played the Buccaneers. This Todd Bowles defense is one of the most underrated defenses in the league. Even though they're giving up, bottom third in points per game, they still are a very well coached defensive team. So does that make you a little bit nervous that these we've played them like three out of the three times in the past 2 seasons, and I think we're 2-1 against them. They beat us last year. We beat them twice in 23. But every single game has been close. Every single game has been a good football game. If you're from another fan base looking in, you're getting at least a good football game. But us Lions fans don't like good football games. We like to just be taken belt to ass and have a nice, comfortable Monday night. So how are you feeling with this defense, the defense we're going to be going against?
Steve, I don't give a what about Todd Bowles. No disrespect to him. Respect to his defense and his brain, but he's not out there playing on the field. The only thing that I'm worried about when I'm thinking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is, and I'm going to put some respect on his name, Mr. Vita Vea. Mr. Respect on the Mr. He is just a disruptive, violent, darn near unblockable human. Like I took some time to do some more film watching because he's a guy that I turn on sometimes just to watch dominant people do dominant things, and he was just being Vita, man. He was just being a problem, man, and that's what I'm thinking about. Can we get him moved around? And that's kind of the reason why, not kind of, it is the reason why I said we need to throw this thing around. I don't plan on coming in with a game plan of telling guy who's on his back 9 and Graham to deal with them. I'm not going to tell 2 babies to deal with them and our 2 young guards in Mahogany and Tate Ratledge. I just get the ball out of your hand, Jared. Don't run directly at him. Run away from him, and just manage him disrupting a football game in the middle of the offensive line. Steve, is what I'm thinking about when I think about this defense. No disrespect to that. I know they got other good players and everything else. He is a Hall of Famer, if you ask me, and I don't even need to get into the statistics. When you look at what he's doing, it just speaks Hall of Fame to me, and just a difference maker, man. He's the Penei Sewell of their defensive line, man.
And to be honest, I don't think he played last season when we went against him. I think he was banged up and he missed that game, and they were still able to get by without him. So I'm just expecting a nasty, ugly, just an old school type football game. I hope not. We'll get into that, when we give some predictions. But offensively, I feel like we have the firepower. Listen, we have firepower. The injury bugs kind of bit us on the defensive side of the football. Offense, we've been relatively healthy. I didn't like how we played in the second half against Kansas City. I feel like we kind of sputtered out there in the third and fourth quarters, and we just couldn't kind of sustain drives, whether it was flags or dropping some passes or just getting behind the sticks, not being able to run the football. But the firepower's there. It's not like we're still healthy offensively. I'm looking for this offense to be able to put up somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 points, and that should win you most football games. I don't know what we need to do to just have a start of the game to the end of the game, just a complete offensive football game is what I'm hoping we get tonight on Monday Night Football. But I think we're more than capable. It's just a matter of can they do it, Will? And maybe I'm a little scarred from that Ben Johnson offense where we come out in the third, fourth quarter and it looks lackadaisical. But I think we're going to put up some points against this defense.
Steve, I'm really hoping that this whole football team does something special coming off of all of the BS that's been going on, from the media stuff to the just losing in general. I hope they're fired up and they do something special, but we don't have an easy task in front of us. Any team's beatable. I don't want to make it like this, like the Tampa Bay Bucks are unbeatable, but Baker's playing good football. He's playing the type of football that we respect here. He hasn't made any excuses because his receivers have been banged up. He's been constantly missing people from Godwin to Evans, and now Abuka is a game time decision. So he hasn't had his dogs, but he's still found a way to make it happen. Even Bucky Irvin, he's been out, man. So White came in and he's doing his thing too. So they're similar to us. They're banged up, but a lot of their stuff is on the offensive side of the football, where ours is on the defense. But they're still finding a way to win games and be successful, man. So they're another team that's next man up. So nothing but respect.
I've said this a couple times this week, Will. I absolutely hate how much I love Baker Mayfield. I love watching him play. I just love his all around game. I think it goes back to before he was even in the NFL for me. When he was at Oklahoma, he went into the horseshoe against Ohio State, won there, staked the flag. I immediately was like, hey, I like this guy. This is my kind of guy here. Goes into the horseshoe and does that against the Buckeyes. I went to the Browns game with a good friend of mine, best man at my wedding, actually, more than just a good friend. He's a Cleveland Browns fan, and he was rocking a Baker Mayfield jersey, and we were just having a conversation, and I said, how do the Browns let a guy like Baker Mayfield go? And he goes to Carolina, the Rams, ends up in Tampa Bay, kind of a Jared Goff situation. But the dude could play football. I think he got ran out of Cleveland because of Odell Beckham Jr., the fans, Odell's dad just running him out of town. Huge mistake. So leading to that, I just kind of feel like his story is kind of similar to Jared Goff, like an organization that gave up on him. Now he's found a home in Tampa. He's doing great there. He's a franchise quarterback. He's playing like an MVP. Both are number one overall picks who've been through some adversity. They're comfortable now. They got some good coaches around them. I love Baker Mayfield, but he's my enemy for the night, just for the night. And I don't know. I just look at this game. It's a massive game. I was kind of keeping tabs on the Philadelphia Eagles last year. We were keeping tabs on the Vikings, for playoff seeding and implications last year. I've kind of been doing the same thing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't want to get to week 17 and just wonder, dang, I wish we could have beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if we lose this one, because we could be talking about a bye week again with a guaranteed home field advantage. Let's take care of business tonight. Respect the hell out of Baker. Love his game, but I need to see 97 getting after him again like he did last year, when he had a career game. Aiden Hutchinson making his life a living hell, I think, is going to be one of the keys to this defense. What do you think?
I think you're dead on. I think that's the key to any Sunday or Monday night or Thursday night football, Saturday night, whatever the heck day we're playing on. It's the key to this defense being successful. He's the guy, man. He's the guy. You're either got to have a game plan to where you're dealing with him and opening it up for other people, or he's getting off and doing his thing, man. So, yeah, you're dead on. I seen a stat earlier, Steve, that interested me. It said that Aiden Hutchinson is tied for the NFL record for four games in a row with a strip sack. And I'd love to see him break that record right here against Baker, man. I mean, why not? why not, man? Monday Night Football, prime time. I think it really puts his foot in the door for Defensive Player of the Year. What better time than now?
I mean, would he have beaten the record? Because he's had a couple strip sacks that have been called back for penalties. So are we talking a guy who's technically beat them? Well, one of them was his fault. He was offside, so can't really, can't play the pot and the kettle in this one. But Aiden Hutchinson has just been like an unsung hero on defense. Like, I don't think he's getting enough praise nationally. The dude is leading the league in pressures too. I think he's at 31 through 6 games. Absolutely incredible. That's averaging like 5 pressures per game. That's phenomenal, with getting some production as well. I think that my defensive player of the game is going to be Aiden Hutchinson. I'll just get that out of the way. With our secondary banged up, we're leaning on this front seven. Who's the best player on the field for us on defense? It's Aiden Hutchinson without a doubt. No Brian Branch this week. No Kirby Joseph. Secondary's depleted. We talked about all that. So I'm with you. I'd like to see at least 1 strip sack, but I think he gets 2.5 sacks total in this one, Will. Who's your defensive guy for the week?
Honestly, man, this week I'm gonna do something crazy, and I don't have any idea what's about to happen. So I could make this call, and this dude don't even end up being on the field. So I'm putting my neck out here to look like a complete idiot. But today I watched all 62, I believe, 60 something plays of Jamie Robinson's career as a starter, and He interests me, Steve. He interests me. Am I going to get on here and say that he's going to take somebody's job and, when Brian comes back, he's going to be on the bench or something? No, I'm not. I'm not saying that at all, but he really, really made me curious of what they're about to do with him, for one. So my sneaky suspicion is that they're going to play him in and around the box, maybe at the nickel, maybe at the strong safety type of guy. But he's a guy who can play nickel. He can play free safety. He got 2 starts with the Carolina Panthers 2023. But he's just a football player, Steve, and it reminds me of a Detroit Lion. He doesn't really have a true position. I wouldn't call him a free safety. I wouldn't call him a strong safety. I wouldn't call him a corner. He's just a physical dude that'll come up and tackle you like a safety will. He can cover. When I was watching some of the Florida State highlights, he's breaking up passes. He has a good, oh, yeah. He's got a great response to getting the data in front of him when a guy's dropping his hips and he needs to go ahead and break on a football. I watched him do a great speed turn on a double move. I'm curious of what he's about to do, Steve. So I don't want to say player of the game because I think that would be crazy, but a non-liability. We don't like to come on here and just hammer people unless your name is James Poo Pants Houston. But outside of that, I try not to get on here and hammer people. Kendall Vildor, but those are the only 2. That's really just.
All right, sure. You want to keep going?
Yeah. No, those are the 2. Those are the 2. But
Hendon Hooker.
Nah, he doesn't. Yeah, but I could. But anyways, I digress. Arthur Moulette, though, man, last week, he was just a liability out there. And I don't think that's what we're going to see out of Jamie Robinson. I think that he's going to make some plays. I think that he's going to be impactful. And I think he might put himself down as kind of stamping and maybe planting his flag at Ford Field as a guy that needs to stick around as a depth piece for the Detroit Lions. A versatile guy. I just feel like he's everything that the Detroit Lions keep around. He wouldn't necessarily be your starter, but he's a guy, if your nickel goes down, he can go in at nickel. If your safety goes down, he can go in at free or strong. And he's going to help you out on special teams. So unsung hero, not player of the game, Jamie Robinson.
I guess back to my original question then, who's your defensive player of the game? Well, I'm very, very confused. I get it. You want to throw the name out there just in case, but you come on. Hey, there's no I don't knows here in Detroit. No politicians answer.
I honestly, man, I think that their game plan is going to be to deal with Aiden Hutchinson, especially with our secondary being out, man. So Jamie Robinson is just somebody that's sticking out of my
head. Take it and stand with it.
Yeah. I think he's gonna make some plays.
First thing I think we need to do is just hope that we get Jamie on the field now that he's out there in the public's ears. I don't want to sleep. If we're talking about guys we're not sleeping on, I'm not sleeping on Kendall Fuller. I'm not at all. I think that was a very underrated signing by Brad Holmes, a guy who just like to 2023, I was looking up some stats from Kendall Fuller, and he was top 10 in coverage, just 2 years removed from that. Do we still have that Kendall Fuller? It's not crazy to think so. We don't need him to be Sauce Gardner. We don't need him to be a lockdown guy. We just need him for a couple of games, potentially. I think Kendall Fuller, with the injuries to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm looking at their injury report. You mentioned it. Chris Godwin out. Emeka Egbuka, Mike Evans listed as questionable. They'll probably play, but are they going to be on a pitch count? Are they going to be hobbled? Because I think Emeka has a hamstring injury. Those things linger for a little bit. Maybe he's only going to get 15 snaps. I don't know. I don't know what the Buccaneers plan is. I don't know how severe that injury is, but when I look at our injuries versus their injuries, it's kind of like which one's going to be tested more? Which team has the better depth here? Is it going to be Tampa Bay's backup receivers, or is it going to be the Detroit Lions backup secondary? Because I think that's the chess game that we're going to be paying attention to when the Detroit Lions are on offenses. Our injuries are kind of intertwining with each other, where it's going to be very interesting to see. But they still have Baker Mayfield. We still have Aiden Hutchinson. Let's not forget, we're getting Big Ali McNeil back in this game too. Possible same thing. Is he going to be on a pitch count? Is he only going to get a handful of snaps? What kind of snaps they're going to be? Pass rush, run stop? I don't know. But excited to get Ali back. First game Monday night, blackout jerseys. We're getting a Pro Bowl level defensive tackle back. I think that has to be talked about a little bit too. And we mentioned it in some previous shows. But I just think that the injuries on both sides of the football are interesting because of how the game's going to be played. So something to pay attention to. We kind of glanced over it. Who's your offensive player of the game? You going with JG?
I don't know yet, but before I
Here we go.
just don't want to get off Kendall Fuller real quick. So Kendall Fuller is somebody that really interests me. We talked about it before. He was somebody that I was really watching when he was a free agent coming away from the Washington Commanders, and they ended up re-signing him.
Not just watching, you were pounding the table for it. I'll give you credit on that. You wanted him. I think
Yeah.
he was your number one free agent available a couple years ago.
Yeah, I really liked Kendall Fuller at the time, and I still like him. I just don't know that he fits what we do with the Detroit Lions currently. As far as I feel like he's not the same dude from what I was seeing on film. Not bad, but he just seems a little bit less twitchy because he plays off, and you really got to be able to drop those hips and change direction when you're playing off ball in the NFL. It's just like you got, because essentially when that receiver breaks down and to break on the football, the quarterback's putting it up before he's even turning his head around, and you got to beat him to the spot. It's not a young man's game to do, and I think he's on that back nine of doing that. But that said, when I was going through the transactions, they hadn't activated him yet to the active roster. So I'm like, man, all right, what are we going to do? Is this going to be a situation where we see Rock Yassin and Amik out there at the outside corner? Are we going to see Jamie Robinson at the nickel, Harper, and they got
Lauren Strickland?
No, Lawrence Strickland wasn't up either. He's on the practice squad. I think it was Hallett. Eric Hallett was still down there. Or what's the shuffle going to be on this back end? Like, I legitimately have no idea. Nick Whiteside is active right now. What are they going to do with him? Is he going to be the nickel guy? And I'm going to look like a fool because Jamie Robinson isn't even out there. So because he's a big dude. He's 6'1", 200 and something pounds. He can play inside and in and around the box. Saginaw Valley guy. Shout out to the GLIAC, man. But I just don't know what they're going to do in the secondary. So it's really going to be interesting. My sneaky suspicion is we're going to see a lot of base type stuff. We might see one high, a little bit more than we typically do. But I don't know. I'm really hoping to get an opportunity, though, to see Jamie Robinson playing that nickel position in and around the box because he's physical. He's a bit of a ball hawk. He'll punch at the football. He kind of reminds me of, and let me be careful here.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going, Will be. Okay, all right.
Just like Amik, as far as how aggressive he is at the point of attack. He's gonna hit you with no regard for his body. He's ready to get physical. He'll punch and rip at that football. He's got really good hands. Like I just think that you could even talk about him as more of an offensive player with his skill set as far as his hand go. I'm just like I said, I'm just interested to see what he does.
So offensive player of the game.
Yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked, man. I just really want to.
It's your world. I'm just living in it.
Whatever. Offensive player of the game, Steve. I gotta go with. And I feel like we teed it up. It's got to be JG, man. He's gonna have to put this team on his back. Points are gonna get scored, Steve. It's this secondary. We're missing our top three safeties, right? Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and Avonte Maddox. Right? Then on top of that, we're missing our top two corners. Right? Yeah, really. I mean, I'd say Amik's probably in that conversation, but for the depth chart, we're missing our top two corners, right? So, man, that's 5 key people in our secondary that are out. JG, you gotta put us on your back. And I said something in the offseason about JG that I really wanted, similar to Jack Campbell. I really want to see JG go into a football game and we win the game because he's our quarterback, period. Now, I'm not saying that he hasn't won football games by doing a great job. He's doing phenomenal, man. He's a great quarterback. But I've never felt like I'm watching Patrick Mahomes or I'm watching Tom Brady or I'm watching Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. Like, I don't feel like I'm watching that guy. If he was not our quarterback, we don't win this football game. I want to see him with this defense completely decimated in a shootout game on Monday Night Football, throwing for 400 yards and going crazy. So Jared Goff goes off. If Sam Darnold can put up 35 on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football, JG can put up 40, and he can throw for 400 yards.
I love and appreciate that you put the work into seeing who's the previous quarterbacks and what they did against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because I feel like just that alone makes me feel a little bit more comfortable because Jared Goff is leaps and bounds above Mac Jones and Carson Wentz. No disrespect, but kind of disrespect. Like, we have the better of those three quarterbacks. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about the weapons that we have, I think we have better weapons than both of those teams. Now, I understand Carson Wentz has Justin Jefferson, who really has had kind of a quiet year too. I have to mention, hasn't done too much craziness in the stat sheet. When I look at who Jared Goff has around him, well, it's Pro Bowlers, it's electric playmakers, it's guys who, when you get them the ball in space, it could be a home run. Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams, like, those are two home run hitters. You hold your breath when they touch the football. Amon St. Brown could be due for a game where he catches 12 passes. You don't think he's pissed off about that crucial fourth down catch last week? Mm-hmm. He's going to be blocking his ass off at the very least, if not catching 12 to 15 passes for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. But I'm with you. I don't think we line up too much often on who our offensive player of the game is. Jared Goff. I want it to be the run game. I want it to be Jahmyr Gibbs. But until I see some explosiveness, I'm going with JG in this one as well. Will's least favorite time. Yeah. Score predictions. I'll go first, Will, because you've gone first the other two. And a lot of pressure, a lot of politicians' answers on top of those two questions as well. I don't want a good football game. I don't. And I said it, if you're the fan of the Atlanta Falcons and you're just tuning in on Monday Night Football and you're like, oh, man, I just hope to see a good football game. Actually, you're probably cheering for the Lions because the Buccaneers are in your division. But if you're just a fan of an outside team, you're just wanting like a close fourth quarter type game. I don't want that, Will. I want, like we had against the Bears, like we had against the Bengals, the Ravens, the Browns. I just want to just show up to Ford Field and, leave with a win. That's really all I care about. But I don't think that I'm going to get my wish. I do think that this is two of the better teams in the NFC, prime time, Monday night. I suspect it's going to be a close one-possession game. But I do think that the Lions are more equipped. Even despite our injuries, they have injuries too. I can see this one 31-28 Lions. I think 31-28 is just calling me because they're not going to stop us from scoring, just like you're not going to stop that dog from getting whatever he's up to upstairs. He's just going to get after it just like we're going to get after it. 31-28 Lions.
31-28?
Yes.
Steve.
Are you nuts?
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your freaking mind? No, sir. No, sir. No. I've been waiting. Listen, we have a whole secondary that is second teamers right now. Right? Baker Mayfield is playing like an MVP. Everybody is saying it. For all intents and purposes, Tampa Bay should either win this game or it should be a tough football game where a lot of points should be scored by both teams. That's not what happens. That's not the narrative. Monday Night Football is going to be a party. We're going to go to the Ford Field, and there's going to be a sacrifice. 41 points Jared Goff is going to put up. He's throwing for 400 yards. Jamison Williams is going to be going crazy. Laporta is going to be going crazy. Gibbs is going to be going crazy. Demo's going to be getting his, man. And Tesla is going to get another touchdown in this football game. You heard it here. Now, what are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to be doing? They're going to be putting up a measly 24 points. I got 41-24 because it shouldn't be like that. That's not what should happen. So I'm not going to go with what should happen. I'm going to go what's going to happen. 41-24, Detroit Lions. We're having a party tomorrow. I may have to call off work.
I completely stopped listening after that little clip you played. I just want to know how long that's been loaded. I'm officially checked out.
Gotta stay on your toes. Gotta stay on your toes.
Officially just completely locked out. Done with this podcast. Might be last show. I don't know. I hope, Will, I've never rooted for you to be right more in my life. I'd love to just show up to Ford Field and just put belt to ass by a 17-point victory. That would be phenomenal. It would give me a nice relaxing night. I go to the game, enjoy a couple beers, have some good food, maybe hit the casino after, come home, got the next day off work. Unlike you have to go into work. That's very good. Make that money. Challenge time as well. At the end of the game, or the end of the show, we always put this out on game day. and I know a lot of people think that it's impossible to hit, that the payout isn't worth the risk. But here's what we do at Detroit Den 313 on game day. Guess the very first touchdown score, guess the very last touchdown score, guess the exact score of the game, and win yourself a $200 gift card to Rally House. And a lot of people, I'm going to say it, have said, hey, Steve, I could take that to DraftKings and do that exact same thing and get like, $50,000. That's great. I'm in my office. I don't have a $18 million home. I'm not Pat McAfee. A touchdown score is who possesses the football in the end zone. So if you choose Jared Goff, you are choosing a play like Jared Goff got screwed on last week, where he would have possessed the ball in the end zone on that opening drive. Just to be clear with some of the terminology, that is first touchdown score. Get that and the exact score of the game, $200 gift card. It's the best we could do. Now, what you could also do is you could take that to DraftKings and you could wager your money on an app to try to win a crazy amount of money, or you could take 15 to 20 seconds, type a comment, and win something for free. That's all we got. Anything else tonight, Will?
No, I'm excited, man. It's going to be a party.
Just hope that we're on here Tuesday morning talking to Detroit Lions. Stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.